Yo, 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 everyone. How we doing?
Russell, we're live.
We're live in demand.
So,
Welcome to the special edition of the Jabroni
the
Lounge.
draft edition, really.
Special NFL draft.
Can we say
Of
something
this
first, though? We
You
haven't
can do what
done
you
this
want.
at the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Who's in here?
I hate saying this.
Fans, millions.
Millions. Congratulations, Eric, get in here.
No, we're good. We're good.
Champion Philadelphia Eagles.
Right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, the reason I'm saying this is because you're never going to hear championship Philadelphia Phillies. Jordan Romano sucks.
See ya.
Peace. Well, though, it was an interesting draft.
It was very interesting.
The Giants got way better.
On paper, we're gonna see how it works
Defensively,
out.
you got way better.
I do like the picks. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But hey, like I said, they might suck. We don't know. On paper, great.
No,
We're gonna
Carter's
see. We're
Card-
all gonna see.
No, Carter's a very good pick.
Carter's. I was the obvious pick. Unless something
Jackson.
crazy was gonna happen, which obviously things crazy happen,
Oh yeah, the
which we
Cleveland
will
Browns-
discuss.
That's the mystery.
I don't understand what the Cleveland Browns
Oh,
are
you guys are
actually
right off
do.
the bat?
Oh yeah.
All right.
No, but here's the
Yeah.
deal. The Jets did the Jets things. I don't like the new coach. Whatever. By the way, I just want to say something before we start. This is the number 4 jersey. Russell.
What?
Who's the real number 4 of the New York Jets?
Glenn fucking Foley.
Glenn Foley. This is not a Brett Favre jersey, people. I don't want the comments. I don't want Brett Favre hate. This is day 3 Glenn Foley jersey.
Yep.
Because I'm a
From Boston College.
right. I'm a real Jets fan. Who did I tell you my favorite quarterback of all time was for the Jets?
Glenn Foley.
No. No, I didn't. The first time I met this man, I told him, he goes, "Who's your favorite Jets quarterback?" And I said, "Richard Todd." And he bought me a shot.
Whoa, brother.
We're feeling no pain right now. I think the Giants did a great job. I think the Jets did whatever. We're still going to be a 5-win team. It's
Do
not
you
a
like
big
the
deal.
picks that you guys made today?
Oh, we're gonna do
This
we're gonna do
Today,
now.
this
this
weekend.
week, sure, but we have so many holes it doesn't matter.
All right, we're gonna
I
do
don't-
draft analysis of your team.
Oh,
So
That's what we're
true.
starting
Draft
with.
analysis, we did fine. But at the same time, I've said that before. I was at the Boathouse. We got Mika Becton. I was with you through Mika Becton. I was through a whole bunch of defensive.
Super Bowl champion Mika Becton,
Oh boy.
And where did he go this year?
LA.
Yeah, that's not going to be a Super Bowl champion. So Fatso can get in shape for 1 year, enjoy your life. But yeah, I don't care. We're not good either way. We need to start preparing for the future. We didn't get another quarterback. Didn't want Shakir Sanders, but I would like a young quarterback.
Mhm.
Justin Fields and Tyrone Taylor. Next year, it seems like we're going to go all in next year with the draft. In my opinion, I feel like
Tyrone Taylor.
ex-Giant Tyrone Taylor, ex-Bill Tyrone Taylor,
Mm.
ex-everybody Tyrone Taylor, ex-Charger Tyrone Taylor,
Raven.
ex-Raven Tyrone Taylor. I just feel like it's rinse, wash, repeat. I'm not putting any expectations. So yeah, Jabroni Lounge is going to be the same for me because I have no expectations and I think we're going to miss the playoffs. But I enjoy not having Aaron Rodgers, but I still hate having Woody Johnson, who's just a gigantic loser.
Wow.
Yeah,
Worse
I'm
than John Mara? I don't
yeah,
think so.
Absolutely. I lived through the Will Pond era to the max.
I gotta agree with you on that.
Yeah, I don't. At least, I don't like Mara not signing Saquon Barkley and leaving it up to Joe Schoen. I don't trust Joe Schoen at all. I'm sorry.
I trust him. He had a great draft. I'm not gonna lie. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I will wait till the end of the season as a Giants fan to see what Joe Schoen's all about.
I mean, Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson and Jackson Dart and Tommy DeVito. I don't get it in the other side of Jersey, but it's not my cup of tea.
I like it.
I just think the Jets
You
are going to
like
be a
Watson?
5-win team.
What team?
Jets are
We
going to
had
be a
a good
5-win team.
draft.
Listen,
Carter was a great pick. Carter is a
I think
very
we had a
good
great
pick.
draft.
Do I like him wanting 56? No, he's not that player. He's
No,
not.
he's not.
He's not Lawrence Taylor.
You gotta be your own guy. You get your
Exactly.
own number.
And
You
if
wanna be
you're
fucking
wearing
that good,
sunglasses, you better have 45 sacks this year and be a difference maker.
Yep.
And you want to. The truth is, a draft pick from the Penn State Nittany Lions.
we are.
Usually sucks in the.
Yeah.
So enjoy Carter. for
I
his
will.
sunglasses and his wanting to be 56.
Why are you,
His
Mr.
diamond grill and
You
wanna
actually,
be
you
Lawrence
actually be
Taylor.
watching that,
Yeah.
not us.
I-
Yeah,
Oh.
because
There's only one
Right.
Lawrence Taylor.
Right.
There will
And
only be
the
one.
problem with this, the NFC
if you're
East.
not watching that, you should be watching Jabroni Lounge.
But here's the thing: the problem with the NFC East is you have the
Oh, shit.
Eagles and the
Text your
Commanders who are
father-in-law.
good.
I told her we're going live.
Yeah.
I told my team we're going live. All right. Well, so
I think the Jets. It doesn't matter what we did in the
Just Jeff
draft.
was good.
Yeah, but we're not. We're still fourth place. We're still fourth place in the AFC East. Bills are the best team in the AFC East. I still hate saying that. And then,
I mean, Justin Fields. He just shows that he can be anything more than what he is.
well, he was
true.
benched for a loser in Pittsburgh
That is
because they wanted Russell Wilson. And Pittsburgh, you're always going to be losers. So I love that personally. I'm driving 8 hours to go see the Mets play the Pirates there for some reason. But yeah,
Time now.
what?
But anyway,
Midget wrestling.
but
No, it's the midget died.
Oh.
Poor guy.
rest in peace, Mitch.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was a good guy or a bad guy, but he's dead. So the midget bar is still.
I think the Jets had a good draft. I mean, you know, well, I'm doing the show right now, so it'll be all right.
There's only so much
No, I'll
draft.
do it. No,
Right,
I'll do it.
There's
I-
only so much draft you can do in the first 3 rounds.
Yeah, but the Jets
Oh,
need
sure.
so much more help.
That's true.
The
That is
Jets
true.
need you can't fix a bad team in one draft.
No.
And the
You're right.
Jets are a terrible team.
You have.
It's all good.
You guys have a lot of work to do. But hey, I've been there. Every team's been there.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, but the problem is you
It's-
have Jackson Dart, who you have a lottery ticket. If he's good, you can change it around.
And if he sucks,
We don't
there's
have
a
no,
draft
but we
guys
don't.
next year. Wow.
Yeah, but we don't
I-
have a lottery ticket.
No, but
We'll find one somewhere.
Yeah, just Zach Wilson, Sam
But I
Darnold.
also think the Jets.
Yeah, but the Jets had so many number 1 picks throughout
That's the
the
problem.
years.
Exactly.
And they never fixed their issues.
Exactly. They never got an offensive line. They never got
Yep.
weapons
Yep.
around them, which is why I like Jackson Dart, which again, the
Oh,
Jackson.
so tell Mark Beller.
But the thing about Jackson Dart is
Oh, sorry.
you have Darius Slayton,
No
you have
reminders.
Malik Neighbors, you have these guys that can actually help
Yep.
Jackson Dart.
Yep.
You drafted a running back,
Yep.
Thank
You're
you.
and the problem is, and that's the thing.
Yeah, amazing. You go to Pound Town, USA.
Joe Schoen is trying to make the team better rather than save his job.
That's what you're
He's
supposed
trying to
do.
make exactly where you know what the Jets do? We pace things that we think we need instead of
understand.
actually do. And that's all. And that's why until Woody Johnson's gone, you want to go to England. You want to be this, that, and the other thing for Trump or whatever. And I don't care about politicians. They're all losers. Democrat,
Yeah.
Republican, who cares? Woody Johnson sucks as an owner. He's doing it for the tax write-off.
Huh?
And I respect the Giants more than what the Jets are doing.
Um,
Especially today. Good God.
yeah, so,
the Jets
you know,
could have taken.
We'll see how, like I said, we'll see how it works for our team in Jersey. If for some
Yeah.
people that want to call New Jersey, we wanted
They
to
are
bring
New
in.
Jersey. That's not a hateful thing.
How's
That's-
Devers
not.
doing?
Right. We're in drop conversation.
Uh,
I
If you
want to bring in another guy here for the defending World Series,
World Series, world champion,
world champions,
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
It's football. It's not.
Eric Olsemer. Eric,
Yeah. If I just rating Phillies draft, just
Yeah,
overall-
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
I mean, it was, to be honest, middle of the road. I think obviously you get the same thing they've been doing in previous years. Jared Campbell just falls right into your lap.
okay,
I wasn't a big fan of the Texas safety we got in the second round. However, when you do your research, his draft comparison is actually to C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who
Whoa.
we just traded to the Houston Texans.
And here's my
Oh,
question:
Okay,
when have they ever gone wrong?
Houston?
No, draft comparisons.
Oh no, they're the same. It's the same player.
all right.
That's why he dropped.
Yeah,
it. It's like,
exactly. Another Georgia Bulldog, Waldo.
That's
we'll
what
see
you
if
guys
he makes
do.
the roster. Hopefully, we have one of those tackles that we drafted turns into a guard spot.
Yeah.
Because I don't like the guard we just traded for, but maybe Tyler Steen will work
You
out.
like the South boys?
Yeah, no, we love the South boys. They're great. They got us nice.
It breaks my heart every
They got
fucking
us a
day.
second ring. That's all I could talk about.
Yeah.
But overall, solid. And how about I just was looking at the Virginia Tech guy we drafted in the second round or the sixth round. Not a lot. Surprised for the amount of production he did. The
Right.
fall in the sixth round. I'm going to
Antoine Powell Ryder.
correct. I'm going to have to see if there's a reason why he fell.
Injuries?
He-
Injuries could
His,
be.
his measurables don't
He's not a. He's not a.
measurables.
He's
Okay.
not a, okay.
Oh my God,
Oh,
Joe.
was he 5'11" and 5/8 of an inch?
No, he's
Compared to the rest, I might have been
He got shorter
5'11" and
arms. He got
7/8
shorter
of an
arms.
inch.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
it
he's
matters.
like 6'2". He's got shorter arms.
Mhm.
The measurables do matter. The measurables, they do pay attention to measurables.
Oh,
Yeah.
If you're like 6'6" and you have like your arm reaches like 80 inches,
You can't teach height.
You can't
As,
teach
as they
that.
say in yeah, you can't teach
you
height.
can't
You can't,
teach special athletics.
no.
yeah. Right.
But you can.
You can teach technique,
Yeah. But you can't teach
you can't
height.
make somebody more athletic.
Yep.
The
Not
one
only
thing
that,
I will-
you can't add to somebody's body that they're not born with.
Right.
Yep.
However, my only regret is that the NFC East unfortunately drafted very well this year. Typically, they,
Dude,
Shit the
the Commanders had a good draft.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
the Commanders did. I mean, other than the Cowboys, where they reached for
I'm still waiting for
Tyler
this.
Booker.
Waiting for the Cowboys' big trade. That
No,
was-
they're
I'm gonna hold my breath.
They're supposed to make. Don't kill yourself on air.
I'm waiting. I mean,
But no, and like the only problem I have with the Giants pick, I like the Jackson Dart aspect of it. The problem is you don't want to find yourself into a Bears situation
I get it.
or any
Yeah.
other poverty franchise situation where you draft a quarterback, then you fire the head coach of the GM, and now you're stuck with this rookie.
Oh my
child.
God,
I don't
Harden.
think. I honestly think.
it's
I don't
gonna
think he gets
happen.
fired though.
I don't.
I don't think he gets fired.
Well,
I'll be
not
honest
in a
with you.
2-year period.
Right.
Not in 2 years.
I was, but
I
Jake
agree
Wall
with
got
you.
his guy. I
I
don't think
agree
he's gonna
with
get
you.
fired this time. I don't believe it.
By the way,
But, hey,
James,
I could be wrong. Like
I hate
said.
to interrupt
I don't know.
everybody. James Harden just didn't get even close to being fouled, missed a shot, complained, and the Denver Nuggets went down and just got an easy.
It's
layup.
almost like they're down 8, Pat.
I hate James Harden.
But yeah, I mean, so everyone's draft went well. Russell with Gregory.
Excuse me.
Oh,
think
before
you
we
should.
go to
I
Russell
don't-
Gregory,
I
can I
don't-
just say the Patriots are the best draft with a kicker and a long snapper?
And
There
a
you
long
go.
snapper.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's what wins Super Bowls. That's what wins Super Bowls.
That's right.
shockingly,
that right, Russ?
not many of you fans know this, but yes, long snappers and kickers doing super.
That's true.
Uh,
That's true.
Especially
Russell Gregory, I want your recap and
Of the
your
Buffalo
feeling of the Buffalo
Bills.
Bills draft
Yeah.
picks for 2025.
I think the Buffalo Bills knocked it out of the park.
Oh my
Home
God,
run.
he's gonna take a 3. Oh,
I
Grand
think that-
slam.
I think that there's
every
one-
year he says this.
there's only
Folks. This
one
is the
pick
first
that-
lunch you're ready to allow.
There's only one pick that I didn't necessarily really love, Delon Walker,
Why not?
Why?
because
What?
he's
What?
he's a 6'7", 330-pound man, but
You call him fat.
he's just a big guy with no upper body strength and no lower body strength. But those are
Oh.
teachable things. So I
What do you
trust
got,
I
Eric?
trust my GM. He does it for a living. I do not.
Right.
You
We
know,
get to break it now.
I like that we. I
We
like
got
that we.
breaking news.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
we
do.
breaking news.
Yeah.
Breaking news. Hold the phones.
Younger
Say-
brother Shiloh Sanders is signing to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh! Eagles are starting their
No,
rebuild.
the Buccaneers, not the Eagles.
No. Now the
Wow.
Buccaneers in the NFC. Watch
Oh
the
yeah,
Eagles
we
being
gotta read
10.
that there.
Wow.
So
Eagles rebuild.
There you
So
go.
I like that we. I didn't think we were going to take like 3 quarterbacks in this draft, but we
Why
did.
is that? Why did he go? Why all of a sudden that's like a big?
Because
I need
the
to go to
problem.
Tampa
Oh,
Bay.
Walt
Oh,
Jocketty
no,
died.
he's an undrafted free agent.
Yeah, he can go wherever he
The
wants.
minute the draft is over, the GMs are on the phone, and they're talking to people, guys who were not drafted, and trying to get them to come to their team.
I just wanted to.
Which
I didn't know where he was.
I give
Oh,
the Bill,
Yeah,
I give the Bills a A- in the draft. Brandon Beane addressed all the issues that we had, and we'll see if we can.
All the
Solve
issues.
them.
They're done.
They're done.
They're done. They're the perfect team. They're going to go 17-0.
No,
All the
no,
issues
no,
are.
no, no.
All the issues are. You just said all the issues were
Well, I
solved.
mean, on paper, you address issues.
That's
and,
right.
you know, and we do have the MVP of the league
How'd that do you?
and the best quarterback in the NFL.
How'd that do you?
Yeah. We'll I mean,
We'll find
I'm
out.
glad everyone's happy with their team's picks.
Why is every?
Because I feel like your guys did well too.
I don't think so.
I don't
See,
hear
I
I
anybody
know
know
it's a
right.
poverty franchise. It's the draft
certain
can't
picks
fix
I
what
know-
that.
I don't
You gotta
necessarily
be
like from teams,
happy
but-
sometimes.
This is a season of
Not with the
optimism.
Jets, with the
Yes,
Mets, I can
I'm
be.
telling
The
you.
Rangers, even the Rangers, I'm happy.
I mean,
Yeah.
what?
Everybody should be optimistic.
That's right.
I no. This
The
is bad.
biggest,
We
the
did
biggest
nothing.
pick for the Giants is Carter because you're not going to see Jackson Dart for another year.
Oh,
Did we know that?
oh, Russell Wilson was out for how many weeks last year?
If the Giants
Jameis
start,
Winston.
if
Yeah,
the-
but
if the
they're
They're
Giants,
not going to force
They got
the
if the
issue.
Giants start 1-6,
Winston was hurt last year
if the
too.
Giants
That's
start
not
1-6, the fans are going to start cleaning up
Yeah.
the yard.
If they start
Yeah.
1
Yeah,
and
but I
3,
don't see
it's
it.
New York.
Yes.
They're gonna be
I do
competitive.
not believe for 1 minute that Jackson Dart is going to
Oh,
sit the
Jackson
entire
Dart
game.
will
Our
be.
schedule
The
is
bottom line
gonna
is the
be tough.
Giants are not a good football team.
I think he
They
will
are not.
set foot on the
They're
turf.
not.
How much
Giants
I
are not
don't.
good football.
I
They're
can't
not.
say.
I don't think Jackson.
He
Dart's
will
playing
play
the
a
first
game.
year one.
He
I don't
will
believe
play
so
a
either.
game.
I
Oh,
think he is.
I don't think he is.
No.
all right,
No.
raise your hand if you
We'll make predictions,
all right.
down the
All right,
road,
down the road. That's
Down the
true.
road.
training
We're
camp,
thinking
Yeah.
he's going to start.
but
Yes.
No,
No.
not initially. Not initially.
No, not initially, but
No.
I think week 7 or 8, Jackson Dart will be your starter.
No.
I
No,
just
man.
said that to you before.
I don't-
and you
I don't believe it.
disagreed.
I think Jackson Star will
I
be the
don't.
starter.
Jackson
I
Star.
don't think they want to do
Jackson
that.
Start.
I think Jackson.
Let's
Jason-
Well,
short
you're
for
talking
Dart.
I
what?
think Jason Stark.
Jason
I
Stark.
think you're talking what? Week 8, maybe.
I don't see
No,
it.
6 or
I
7.
don't really see
I
it.
think the
Six or
Giants are
seven.
not going
We will
Or
to.
get
8,
there.
Yeah, that's not
Let's
bad.
wait
I
till
think the
training camp
I think the
starts,
Giants are not going to be good.
because anything can
Oh,
happen.
they're not. They're going to win 4
And I
games.
think
I
Jackson
don't
Dart
believe that.
will be the starter.
I don't like the negativity.
From the end of November
I'm gonna wait till
to,
training camp,
to December. He
and
will.
we're gonna
Dude.
find out.
You
Dude.
think the end of November? I was
Yeah.
thinking like after the
It
New
could,
Year's.
it could be early because the Giants struggle.
Our
The
schedule
fans
is
are-
tough,
The
though.
fans
I'll
are going to want
I'll
to
tell
see
you
him
that.
play.
Can I just
Oh, I agree. Or they're going to
Can I
fly
just-
planes with
Oh yeah.
around the
can
stadium.
I just point
Yeah,
something
I
out?
agree.
Can
Let's do it.
I just point something out? Russell Wilson got hurt almost right away in Pittsburgh. Russell Wilson's a loser.
That's all true.
Yeah.
That's an all.
I
true.
like Jameis Winston a lot. I think Jameis Winston's going to be starting more games than Russell Wilson and
If he's
Jackson
in it,
Dart.
let him have
And
opportunity.
but here's the thing, but I wanted Jameis Winston on the Jets. He has a big arm.
Yeah,
He's carefree.
Yep.
He just plays football. I think that would
he's a
release.
football guy.
I think him and Garrett Wilson would have got along great, but it is what it is. I think Russell Wilson is done, and I love that because he was a phony in Seattle. He was a phony in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
He was a phony in Denver. Bronco country, let's go down to the crapper.
God.
And he's still getting paid for whatever reason. He's a loser. And so I think Jameis Winston's going to start the most games. I think Jackson Dart will start after the new year, but he'll be starting some games. It's going to be
I
Jameis Winston
agree.
and Jackson
I
Dart.
agree with that.
We'll
and-
find out.
But here's the thing, though.
Training camp, we'll find out.
If Jameis Winston plays a lot of games for the Giants, you're going to be way more competitive than either of you
I
think.
think
He
so.
does, he takes shots down the field, which I love.
And that's what Neighbors
So-
is going to love. And that's
Yep.
what Wandale Robinson,
Oh, yeah.
who could still be one of my fantasy
Yeah.
football keepers.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes Vince.
But we're gonna find out. Like I said, training
I-
camp still
I
hasn't
love-
here. You know,
I
anything
wish-
can happen.
In my eyes,
Injuries.
and it's my bias, though, because I can't stand Russell Wilson.
I
is
get
this
it.
when? Is this when?
Yes,
Vince-
unfortunately, when Stone Cold turned heel.
Yes.
Yeah, this ruined the whole boom period. By
Yes.
the way, as the last WrestleMania was terrible. Don't let The Rock think The Rock ruined WWE. The Rock is ruining. That's why Triple H didn't mention him once in his Hall of Fame speech. But anyway, neither here nor there.
Yep.
I think if the Giants just had Jameis Winston instead of Russell Wilson, this would be I think you guys would be so much more competitive. I think Russell Wilson is a cancer. I think he's just
That's
a terrible
100%
person.
true.
Yeah, I think he's just he's terrible. The Broncos are still paying how much? They had to pay a lot of money. I think the Giants would have been way better off just telling Russell Wilson, you and Aaron Rodgers can go to some weird Epstein Island and do whatever you want. Just leave us alone.
Yeah.
I think the Giants have a much brighter future than the Jets.
I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't really bother me. I mean,
I think you feel a lot
you feel
of
the quarterback room.
I
and
no,
think
but you also
figure
feel
it out
from
but the
there.
Giants
I
no,
agree
but
with
the Giants filled a lot of holes.
Maybe
They
this was the plan, but just signing Wilson for 1 year
That's
covered
terrible.
their ass in
'Cause
case
we
the
were one of
Jackson
those-
Dart. In case the Jackson Dart thing didn't
Who
work
was
out in the
taking
draft.
Jackson Dart?
Exactly.
Who was taking Jackson Dart?
The Steelers would have grabbed them.
I think Dart would have went
The
later in
Steelers
the
passed
first
up
round.
Jackson Dart.
they would have.
Somebody
They,
would've-
I think they
don't
would have.
think Dart
They
would
didn't
have
have a
went
second round
outside
pick.
the first round.
But you still could have gotten him. You had the top one of the top
Somebody
picks in
had
the
to
second
trade back.
round.
I
Right.
like the aggressiveness by Joe.
No, I
Shane,
do
but
too. But like,
If you want your guy,
I'm not going to fault the aggressiveness.
no,
you're gonna want your
But, I
guy.
mean,
You go
hold
get
on.
him.
No,
I'm
because you have
sorry.
to look at you can't look at things with tunnel vision. The Giants don't know that if the Raiders are picking behind them or trying to trade in the first round to get a quarterback.
oh my
Yeah.
God, the Raiders are a poverty
Ra-
franchise. That
They don't know if
make
the
good
Browns
decisions.
are trading back in the first round to take a quarterback and maybe it's the guy they like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The Steelers were not trading back in the
But
first
why
round because they
sign
didn't have a
Russell-
second round pick.
Yeah,
So
but why sign Russell Wilson?
I think it was a backup
Just-
plan in
exactly.
case something blew up. in the
Yeah, but
draft.
now you have 4 quarterbacks on your roster. Tommy DeVito
But he's
is
only one
He's not going
year,
to make the
Wilson.
field, so
Tommy DeVito's not going to make the roster.
no,
No.
exactly.
No.
Which
right.
is fine.
Tommy DeVito won't make the roster.
So you have
But you
Russell, Winston, and then
And
fucking
Wilson
Dart,
is only a
which is
1-year
fine.
contract.
You're wasting the roster spot by rostering 3 quarterbacks.
100%. 100%.
I don't
Jackson
think so.
Dart's going to be on your roster.
Yeah.
Yes,
Winston's
absolutely.
going to be on your roster, and so is
Wilson.
Winston and
Wilson,
Wilson.
yeah,
both
that's
be on your
fine.
roster.
Wilson's a 1-year deal.
Tommy DeVito will be back in your practice. Nobody besides the Giants value him.
Right.
You don't think the Eagles are going to sign him?
Well, Harry Rose. I saw Harry Roseman filling Alexander.
I value
Harry-
cutlets. I think
Harry
he's
Roseman
a
said-
stuff, man.
Harry Roseman said, I would value Tommy if he was cooking, some Italian meals in the kitchen. But that's neither here nor there.
And by
Uh,
Italian, you mean Chef Boyardee.
But obviously, the biggest storyline
Oh, Shakir
of
Sanders.
the weekend will be
Yeah.
Shador
Do
Sanders.
we want to let him take the lead? He has a speech ready.
Oh, that's right.
So,
Well, let's talk about the Browns and their multiple.
so the-
quarterbacks.
yeah.
Okay, that's one of the worst. The
So-
Browns are the worst.
Before we
So the-
get into the whole Shador
Right.
Sanders situation, can we at least talk about the fact that I'm okay with them
please, me too, please.
taking a quarterback? Obviously, that was a need.
Yes.
However,
We're done with Pat. I don't
However.
have any Pat.
and like Pat, like we talked about off the show, if you're going to pass up on Travis Hunter,
Right.
which they did, which I think we can all agree was stupid,
Dumb.
and then you're just going to later draft Shador
Thank you.
Sanders, why not just draft him to begin with? Now I understand the
Thank you,
point, the draft chart and everything that's worth it. I get
Right.
that, but then why draft Gabriel
In the third round.
and then 2 rounds later draft
It's
Shador
still a
Sanders?
question mark for a lot of
That's
people.
what
It still doesn't make any
I'm not
sense.
saying that we have the answers. I don't think anybody has the answer.
Is it because they had to do it? Because let's pretend that we're not that team that would be like, oh, let's get them now, and then, I don't know.
Well, I understand
You know
that.
what I
Well,
mean?
but
Like,
they
it's
have
just weird.
why draft
Yeah.
Gabriel then?
Right.
I know.
So
but
let's pretend.
I
It is
don't
a
know
weird
why they
situation.
were on a
I don't
Right.
quarterback.
understand it.
Why? Why
Right.
were you on a quarterback?
Let's
hunt?
pretend that let's pretend that the quarterback that we traded for with a Mets executive, Paul DePiesta, wasn't a rapist. Let's pretend that we didn't guarantee a rapist money. Let's pretend that the Browns knew what they were doing. And let's pretend at the same time you don't take Dylan Gabriel, who's 26, wasn't
Last
that
1990s player draft.
right?
But yeah,
But-
it still doesn't make it.
It doesn't make any sense because you could have Travis Hunter and Shakir Sanders. You could have taken Hunter and then Sanders in the same third round without doing any of this. And this is why
They're the Browns.
Cleveland, you gave us LeBron, who's a loser. You gave us the Indians, who are losers, or Guardians. I apologize. Guardians, who are losers. And this is what Ohio does.
Oh, we're talking about Miles Garrett
But
wants to
even-
be a winner.
Right.
Oh, Myles Garrett, loser.
Yep.
Money.
Yep.
Ohio State, Russell, how do you feel about them?
Well, they're national champions, so I'll be respectful.
Oh, because you could pay NIL money. Crazy how that works to a kid in high school who has no clue about anything.
In defense of the Browns, they do have
And
two
can we
Super Bowl
talk about the-
champion quarterbacks, though. They have Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett.
But did they win? Did they win them with those teams?
No, they did not.
No. And I love this because you know what, Ohio? This is what you get because Barry Larkin's not a Hall of Famer. I was telling him that this is your penance.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely a weird situation with that.
I will say
I
this
definitely
about-
don't think it's a racist thing.
No,
it's definitely
He's a
not
bad
that.
Wait,
I
It's
want to
just-
talk about the Browns situation.
Go ahead.
I don't understand what the Browns were doing, and the national media is not going to say it, but they invested a top 100 pick in Dylan Gabriel.
who's terrible?
For what? That's the question.
Thank you.
Followed
Why?
up 2
Thank
rounds
you.
later to
To
take
not
Sanders.
make it
Yep.
look like.
and
I don't have words for it.
Yeah, this is
this is nothing against Sanders.
maybe you don't hire a baseball
This
executive
is nothing,
to run your
this is
football.
nothing
team.
Right.
against Sanders.
I just don't know how to.
It's
word
like you invested a top 100 pick in Dylan Gabriel,
Who's
and you
terrible?
also traded for Kenny Pickett and signed Joe Flacco. What are you fucking?
What is
doing?
it? It makes. I just
What are you
don't
doing?
Understand it.
What, you're
Why?
feeling bad for Sanders? That's not.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not-
Do you
that's
feel
not-
bad?
you
So let's
Exactly.
take Gabriel
Exactly.
first
You passed us Sanders
all
multiple
right.
times, but all right.
because they expect us to draft him, so we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
So
You know, I
And this is what poverty franchises do. And your rapist comes back in a year. So Browns
I
fans,
just don't
if there still are Browns fans, I don't feel bad for you. I'm a Jets fan, so I like bad teams too. But you're going to be bad forever, and I love it because
Yeah,
Bernie
it's
Kosar's
just-
a drunk, and Ernest Biner fumbled that ball.
Yep.
And welcome Cleveland because we got Francisco Lindor in New York, and he loves it.
Right.
Isn't it crazy?
That is crazy. It is crazy. But as far as the
I wish
The
we
situation
got
that he
Mike
was
Clevenger
in-
though. I love Mike Clevenger
Oh,
on
he did.
the Guardians. Oh God. Oh, can we have Class A? I
can
know
have
he's
Clase
not
A.
doing so great, but
for Diaz,
no, to put with Diaz. Just
Oh,
give him the sixth
oh,
inning. Just let him.
oh.
Steve
Oh.
Cohen.
Oh.
Steve Cohen with that magic fairy
Yeah.
dust money.
but
So
just
we
like
wanna
the
talk about-
situation.
We're talking about the Sanders thing now.
Yeah, the
Oh,
situation
Russell?
to begin
Do
with.
you want me to start? Or you guys want to start?
I'm gonna try to,
Let's
Let's
you
just
go
start
and then we'll
hard.
piggyback off.
Yeah.
So first, the rumors reports were that
Bad interviews.
he had a couple bad interviews. He was not prepared for multiple
Hmm.
interviews. First of all, he never threw at the Shine Bone. Is that what it's called? The
Yeah.
Shine Bone.
Yeah.
He did-
Yes,
so
He refused
he was
to
to play in the
throw.
Senior
Yeah.
Bowl. Didn't want to play in the Shrine
Senior
Bowl.
Bowl,
And
right?
then he didn't participate in the combine.
The combine. So he didn't throw. He didn't want to participate. He didn't want to show at the combine because I'm Sanders. That's basically what they
and
got from it.
Can I say something about this?
Yes,
So I'm in my profession. I failed observation. I
Right.
did,
that's okay.
and I voluntarily said, "Can I have another one?" Because I wanted to show myself. So
Right.
I put myself forward
Right.
because I wanted people to see me what I can actually do.
Right,
Because I thought if I didn't do well on one,
right,
I don't want you to see that.
right.
And
And the second time
volunteer-
around,
right? I wanted to get myself more
Right.
prepared to show people that
Right.
hey, I'm prepared.
I'm taking this serious.
Right.
I'm not fucking just lily guy.
Right. I'm not just some nerd.
I'm just here. Right.
I might be a nerd. I
Right.
am. I love pro wrestling.
Right.
WrestleMania sucks again.
Uh,
But I wanted them to see that I could do better.
right.
If you're not willing,
To-
if fear is what keeps you there,
Right.
and if you're scared of being a failure, then why
Right.
are you even doing this?
Right.
Especially something like this where the whole spotlight's going to be on
Right.
your dad's Deion Sanders, one of the
Right.
most overrated coke addicts I've ever seen that found Jesus after he almost died of cocaine. And one of the biggest losers I've ever seen, won't swack, and I'll go to Colorado where there's no pressure on me. Because am I a real big organization? No. But I
Right.
could take my SWAC guys, and I'm a SWAC guy. Coming up this season, not only am I going to be following the North Texas Mean Green,
Mhm.
my
Mhm.
knee, Stone Cold Steve Austin's
What?
alma mater,
What?
Kevin Von Erich's alma mater,
Yep.
and who else? Steeler legend, who?
Mean Joe Green.
Mean Joe Green.
Yep.
I'm going to be covering the Grambling. I'm going to Southern.
What?
We're going to be doing stuff where the SWAC. We're going to be
That's right.
we're going to be SWAC action.
We
Swag
swacking.
action.
We swacking.
Swacking. We're swacking this year.
That's-
Next
we're
year.
swacking.
Next year we swacking, Russ. You ready for that?
Absolutely. Well,
Friggin' ready.
be a swagger.
But
Hashtag swag.
don't give me the fact where some of these SWAC athletes who are great athletes, and if they make it in the 6th or 7th round, I think they could be good quarterbacks. Don't tell me Shakur Sanders is ready for the NFL to face the Eagles defense. Don't tell me he's ready to face the Vikings defense. Don't tell me he's ready to face the Chargers defense.
Right.
When he's never faced a real person, and his dad.
I just think the fact that he never showed up for these games.
Thank you.
The
But
preparation
who's telling
for it.
who's telling him to do
It's
this?
his father.
As my wife would say, Deion Simmons.
And teams don't want that baggage. You know what I mean? They don't want it. So he kind of screwed himself. Brett screws Brett. If you want to put
Brett
it that way.
screws Brett.
Well, the
That's
Browns
correct.
love baggage 'cause they
Uh,
bought a lot of it.
That's
in
my
this draft.
opinion. But anybody else can chime in. And
Russell
Give their
Gregory.
thoughts.
Russ, take the floor.
I'll start with this nonsense about not throwing at the Senior Bowl.
Okay.
Throwing at the Shrine Bowl, not throwing at the Combine. There's a lot of quarterbacks who don't do that. Whatever. That doesn't matter. To
Jackson
me.
Dart was at the combine.
Okay.
He threw. Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
Will Howard's at the combine.
Will
threw
Howard.
Dart.
Okay,
Kyle
well,
McCord.
Kyle
McCord
McCord.
threw at the combine. Why couldn't he do it?
Okay. I don't care. These are,
What do you mean you don't
these
care?
are voluntary
GMs
things.
care.
These are voluntary things that players don't have to do if they don't want to do it.
Okay. Well, he fucked
So,
himself.
whatever. Marvin Harrison Jr. only showed up at his pro day, and that was it. So whatever. I will say this about the whole Sanders thing. I don't understand why people are so happy and hateful about him falling. Why? You're jealous that your dad's not Deion
Right.
and you think that provide the same opportunities that he did? It's ridiculous. If you watch the tape, Sanders is a good quarterback. But his floor is
It's
here.
mid.
His ceiling is
Right.
here. But the people who are hating on him,
They don't like the
rooting for him to
flashiness. I
fall
get it.
is the most ridiculous thing.
But-
You're flat out jealous that your father's not Deion.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Sorry. Standing to Bronny and Bronny and LeBron. Same thing. I can find people locally who have also the same opportunities, but I won't mention names because we don't know who they are. And there's nothing wrong with that. For the people who are on the other side of the fence, saying it's a racist thing, that's fucking bullshit too.
Cam
All right.
Ward was
All right.
the first draft pick.
We need to talk
Right.
about. We need to talk.
Right.
We need to talk about this a little bit more.
Like, come on.
Daniel Jeremiah talked about it for a hot minute, but he didn't really like being a face about it.
Like, come on, dude. What are we doing?
There's 32 teams in the
We're going to go
NFL.
race.
Hold on. There's
It's
32
a race
teams.
thing.
There's
Dude, the
30
worst is the
There's
hockey.
32 teams in the NFL. This year in the draft, 5 teams. I'll even be generous, give you 6 teams legitimately needed a quarterback.
Yep.
All right. So when Stephen A. Smith or Louis Riddick talk about it's ridiculous that Sanders didn't get picked in the first 4 rounds and 32 teams passed on him, that's not real. The Buffalo Bills, the Lions, the Eagles, the Chiefs, they're not taking Sanders in the first 3 rounds.
No.
A playoff team, look, the Ravens aren't taking Sanders in the first 3 rounds. So let's just eliminate good teams or teams that have quarterbacks. The Titans took Ward first overall. You can debate about whether they should take Sanders or not. That's fair.
Mhm.
But they took Ward. They had the right to choose Ward. They're not going to double back and take Sanders in the second round. So just stop playing the race card.
That's the most idiotic
Yeah,
thing.
I don't think the race
Terrible.
card is the reason.
Hold on.
Yeah, right.
No. I
When
think they actually had eyes.
everything in life is about
Unreal.
supply and demand.
Yeah.
Everything in life is
the
supply
power
and
of
demand.
sight.
When 28 teams in the NFL don't need a quarterback and only 27 and only 5 need a quarterback,
Yep.
that's a really small percentile.
Right.
And then when the first team who has the first pick in the draft is a quarterback, now you're down to 5 teams, and then the Giants trade up to take Dart. Now you're down to 3 teams.
Yeah.
Okay.
And-
And now I will say this also. I think that the teams that passed on Sanders that didn't take a quarterback in this draft in the first 5 rounds, specifically you Steeler fans, are going to regret this decision immensely.
Well, here's the
I'm
thing.
higher on Sanders than most, but I think that he's going to be an above average quarterback.
Well, that's
The
right.
tape doesn't lie,
Right.
but obviously there's some other things going on behind that.
Absolutely.
But
Yep.
but
and
stop
Russ is-
hating on him because his father's Dion
and
and he feels entitled.
But I don't think that's
Yeah.
no.
No.
I think it's because his cockiness. He's
What?
just not.
Listen,
he was prepared for a lot of
I've
things,
never
and
played with a
that's-
player
right.
in a sport where cocky was bad.
Yeah, but he was extremely fucking. He was.
You
I
believe
think
in
the
it?
Yeah.
Steelers should have took him.
No,
somewhere.
I'll tell you who I wanted. I wanted the
I-
Jets to take him in round 3.
Round
'Cause guess
2,
what?
really?
Yeah, you're darn right. Justin Fields, Tyrone Taylor, and nothing.
Yeah. I agree.
Here's your lottery
I
ticket.
agree.
Here's your lottery ticket, Ed. You got a $5 scratch off. You can win nothing, or you can win 10,000.
Yeah.
In the 3rd round of the draft, the Jets have nothing to lose. How do you not take them?
This is why I hate ESPN and NFL Network. And
Are we-
they create fake narratives.
Well, you break it down
Yeah.
like that.
Well,
I understand.
Yeah,
I
100%.
understand.
And here's the thing, too. You look at Mel Kiper's list. This guy is the worst. Chad Pennington, 4th best quarterback. Oh, I can't believe why he dropped. I can't believe why this guy dropped. Stop.
media
Jimmy
builds-
Clausen.
Jimmy Claus.
The media,
Oh.
Bill Kuiper, this is to you. You said if Jimmy Clausen wasn't a great pro, you would walk away from what you do for a
Please
living.
walk
still here.
away.
That was 25
And
years
he's
ago.
still here.
Yeah.
You-
Yeah.
I like Thomas Shake more than
Walk
him,
away
though.
Oh,
tomorrow.
100%. Oh, Todd McShay's.
Walk away
He actually,
tomorrow.
he actually knows what the hell he's talking
Walk
about.
away tomorrow. But anyway,
But guess who owns ESPN Disney? What do they need? Clicks.
yeah.
I get it.
Well, and
Disney's the worst. You people. 98. I wrote.
and I'll say it's to Bucky Brooks, former Buffalo Bill,
Former Buffalo Bill.
What?
What?
tried by Bills. And
Stop dabbling.
So a
in
fan
sports
called
and
you on
spend more
Twitter.
money in Disneyland.
I saw it.
What do you say?
Is there a remote room?
and he said, "Well, you're building Sanders up, and you're criticizing you're upset that Sanders wasn't drafted, and this and that." And you said,
Thanks, sir.
"You
New
said
Stone Cold stuff.
it's an exercise in the mind We're not going to get it right, but we do it for clickbaits.
Yep.
Mm.
Well, Bucky, you get paid. You have shows where you talk about the draft all year long.
Yeah. I
do my research as well.
And work full time.
But I work full time. You get paid to study players. I want you to own this. Just own it. So you got get it. So you got you. Just say you got it wrong. I got it wrong.
Yep.
Don't find excuses why you got it. Got it. Don't blame it because no, it's not perfect science. We know it's not perfect science. Bucky.
Yeah.
All right. We know this to be true.
Nice try, Bucky.
All right. But anyway, yeah.
But yeah.
If you want to hate Sanders because his father's Dion,
go ahead.
Let your jealousy ruin your life and whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I don't know. I think it's more than that. But
Oh,
now
100%.
that Sadar Sanders is not,
But
now he's not a Steeler.
Right.
I
We're gonna
hope
find out.
I hope that he wins the starting job to Browns, and I hope that Aaron Rodgers is the worst quarterback if he signs with the Steelers in the division.
Wow.
And I hope Sanders tears it up for the Browns,
Wow.
and the Steelers for passing on him 5 times suck. Fuck you, Steeler Nation. Enjoy Will Howard.
Well,
Is he white enough?
on that note, we're gonna wrap things up. We're gonna enjoy the rest of our night.
Which, by the way, real quick, baseball. We did a kind of baseball preview.
Yeah.
It's April, and I don't give a crap. Mets, please just keep winning. I don't care otherwise.
David Williams, figure it out.
Are we gonna do a Jabroni Lounge in Pittsburgh? Should we do?
Oh, we
Jabroni-
should.
If you want, I'll bring
Yeah,
my laptop.
we get a little feel of the where the Steelers
All
Nation
right.
feels they're at.
We
June.
can, if you want. I'll
I-
bring my laptop. Yeah.
All right. Well, Waldo, if you're in, I want to do Jabroni Lounge from Pittsburgh,
Okay, live from Pittsburgh.
live from Pittsburgh.
Okay.
We're gonna bring drinks.
At the end of June, and training camp will be like 3 weeks away.
All right. So there we go. Eric, you
All right.
in?
Live from Pittsburgh.
All right. We're
We'll
doing
see you in
IC.
June then.
We're gonna see you in June. Listen.
We're going to Pittsburgh at the end of June.
Whoever you root for, I hope you had a great draft because it was super
Yes,
fun.
Very
Draft
fun.
super fun. Day 3 is super fun. Russell, thank you for letting us at your house.
Thanks for opening
Yeah,
the door.
Yeah,
Day
thank you for
three.
yeah, day 3 is the draft.
Yeah.
And this, if you're a Jets fan, you should be miserable. But that's par for the course.
All right, boy, let's bring it in. Day 3 on
Yeah.
3 on 3.
Russell, where you
Russell.
going? Russell, where
Day
you
3
going?
on 3. You ready?
1, 2, 3.
Day 3.
Yeah. Thank you, Ed.
Have a
Thank
good
you
night.
for watching. Have a great night.